In our last episode, we participated in some of our favorite Boot Key Harbor events. This time we'll be checking out a few other fun things to do in the area. This is the annual Florida Keys Celtic Festival held here in the Marathon Community Park. Please take a few seconds to subscribe, like, and comment. It really helps keep us going. The community theater here in Marathon has been active since 1944. They currently house a live theater and a movie theater. Tonight they host Drag Queen Bingo. The crew from Miss Betty joined us for the fun, and Marty won a round of bingo. Today we're going to check out the Dolphin Research Center. Pretty cool statue of a dolphin and her mom and her baby. Go in and see what this place looks like.
Bones of the sperm whale,
Wow.
except they're opposite. This should be on an opposite side, and that's where the brain sits and the skull. You guys have heard of spermaceti oil?
Yes.
In the old days. That's where these whales here are full of spermaceti oil.
Giant milkweed, monarch butterflies love it. was pretty interesting. Walked under the waterfall.
Rescues and 1 adopted boy. I'm giving you just a few more numbers. There, 2 rescues are here at this lagoon. I'll point them out. And then Sandy, the boy who's right over here already at the dock, that is our adopted boy. He is 45 years old. He came to us from the New England Aquarium. They changed up their programs a little bit that didn't involve dolphins. And he said, hey, can you take him? We said, absolutely. Now Sandy, his eyesight's a little bit less than the younger boys. He is 45 after all, and as we get older, our bodies ask for a little bit more. So he is a great example of a lot of the medical training that we participate in with our dolphins. Most of the medical training is going to be preventative health care, doing things like extra water and vitamins. As those things come to be, I'll make sure to point them out. That's what's in those silver pails over there, some extra water. And inside the buckets themselves is going to be extra vitamins. Just like your doctor might say, hey, you could use a little bit more potassium, or D, B12, those sort of things. Individual dolphins have specific needs as well. So we will do annual examinations of the dolphins from face all the way down to their flukes. Also, in each and every session, trainers are getting nice and close, looking their bodies over, and if they notice anything out of the ordinary, or they deem worthwhile to let the veterinarian know, they'll do a little call. Alright? Sometimes it's like that old monkeys jumping on the bed rhyme. You know, Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. These boys over here, they wrestle, they romp, they play, and they do so with their teeth. That's how dolphins play and let everybody know what the business is. So sometimes those teeth are, hey, you're the cutest guy I know. And other times it's, I need you to get out of my face. A lot of times it's in the same breath. They will be wrestling and romping. Looks like a big Looney Tunes, too. Now, a lot of the scratches that they give each other are very superficial. They shed their skin every 2 hours. It's my favorite fun fact. And so we just check to make sure if there's anything new or novel, that it's not one of those. Now what's going in the water right now is the dolphins' name tags. Everybody has a shape that lets them know where they're sitting. So our boys will come on over to their respective name tags and make sure that they're finding their spot. Looks like we have Louie, and who else do you have, Wade? Delta. Louie and Delta are a great pair. Delta's going to come by first. Wade, you guys can wave back to me if you would like. The boys over there, it looks like it's Gambit and Reese are doing some dives. And Jax and Sandy are across the way doing some swim programs over there. So every dolphin's an individual, so not only do they have their own individual healthcare plan, they have their own individual specialized diet, and the things that they like. Percy, Gambit's mom, she really likes the little silver-side fishies. I call them the French fries. They're little yellow fish that are very small, so she gets a lot of those. Some of the boys really like herring. Jax likes his herring cut in half. Sandy likes to eat his backwards. Hi Gambit, we were talking about you. Class clown Gambit over here. Last session I was in, Gambit was adding extra circles to his dive. Nobody asked for it. Up towards the surface there, everybody's dorsal looks familiar. Delta has a very long dorsal fin. Louis has a notch very low. This. You can see he's got a very long dorsal fin. And as you start to learn them as individuals, and then letting Wade touch on top. Right now, Wade's giving some tickles and some massages, but if we're doing a blood draw practice, he might isolate a finger and make some pressure, as if he was using a syringe or getting a shot. That way, when it's time to do that shot, we've practiced every single step. And then these boys know, okay, we're at step number 2, step number 3, and even step number 4, cleaning off the area.
Taking pictures?
Now, we started by talking about how dolphins use their teeth and rub and romp on each other, so that isolated little prick from a needle isn't something that hurts the dolphins. Hi, Lewis. All right, extra water. Dolphins do not drink the salt water that they live in. That's where we're going to start. And then you guys go, well, where do they get their water from? Dolphins get their water from the fish that they eat. Break down the fats inside their fish, turn that to water, along with all the other vitamins and things that they need. Our veterinarian would recommend, much like your doctor, to drink a little extra. We'll see if this holds, but otherwise I'll talk nice and loud. What I'm going to be doing is just pouring some water here in the top, and making sure that I knock any of the extra bubbles out. That way we don't have gassy dolphins. The hardest part about this is just sitting still, being patient. This is a painless procedure. Much like the other things though, it does take time and practice. Louis is a rescue boy from Louisiana. He was found after the Deepwater Horizon spill back in 2010. It was one of the first dolphins found. Thankfully, a dolphin who was fortunate to survive that oil spill. One of the first things rescuers may do when they find a dolphin that's stranded or injured is oftentimes do something like this. Giving the dolphins extra water so that they can be rehydrated. And stranding especially, they might be out of the water on the tube, in the sun, and be dehydrated, so this is a good way to bring them back to zero. Or I should say, beyond zero, right back to their baseline. Good job, Louis. Give him a big round of applause.
Oh my God. never get tired of seeing dolphins, and the Dolphin Research Center was well worth the visit. Thanks for following along with us on our adventure.